Thomas here with Much Props, going to give you another how-to video. Today I am taking something that I bought from Halloween and converting it into something completely different. I was at a home store and they were selling these lawn decorations that were like oversized skeleton hands, and while as is I didn't know exactly what I would do with it. It was like $3, so I thought, why not make something with it? And I saw a post on Instagram from Lightning Cosplay. She's a German cosplayer, and she had this crown on that was made out of bone, and I thought it was just amazing, and I wanted to kind of make something similar to that. So that's kind of the direction I'm going towards. And I also saw some videos of a girl, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, that paints dragon eyes and makes jewelry out of them, and I thought maybe I could do something similar to that, but with lighter, cheaper, easier to find materials. So today we are going to build a dragon claw crown from my imagination and random Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff. Let's get to building.
Got these oversized skeleton hands from At Homes on a 75% discount the week after Halloween. Really is one of the best days of the year for a prop maker. Now I just want to clean up the sloppy flashing that was left over from the manufacturer and cut them fingers off. Making the band for the bones to stick on was pretty simple. Just wrap your materials around your head and cut it off to size. I used 10mm EVA foam and got it from TNT Cosplay Supply online. I wanted a bit of shape to it, so I layered it on the top with another row of 10mm EVA on the outside and a little strip on the inside. This buildup will give me something to anchor the fingers into. I did a rough carve with a box cutter to make a better transition, and then followed that with a low grit sanding bit on my Dremel. I wanted the band to look like it was made out of carpal bones, like what you find in your wrist, so I sketched them out and sanded this out using my Dremel also. I arranged the bones so that the longest ones were in the middle, and they got smaller as you wrapped around your head. Then I drilled some holes in the foam for the plastic to sit in and super glued it into place. What kind of dragon claws would it be without the claw part? So I added these onto the ends. It's just some thermoplastic heated up and molded onto the ends of the fingers. Once cooled, they do pop off, so I had to go back and super glue them back into place. I made videos for Polyplastic before I had a channel, and you can go to their site. I'll leave a description link, that thing, so you can see an in-depth tutorial on that material. Good tip when working with thermoplastic, keep ice cubes handy. That way when you're trying to speed up the cooling and not get parts to sag, you just run an ice cube along the sides and it firms it up. To make the segments of the carpal stand out a little bit more, I ran my wood burner in between the cracks. Plasti dip the foam and spray paint the plastic. I used some apple barrel multi-surface paint as a wash to create that bone look. You simply paint it on and wipe it off the high points with a paper towel. Once that dries, I then go back over those surfaces to hit the high points with lighter paint colors. I thought it looked too plain on the front, so I decided I was going to make a dragon eye jewel to decorate the front. Here I am cutting down an acrylic Christmas ornament to use as the lens of the eye. Now I'm using some folk art color shifting acrylic paint to do the dragon eye. I'm painting on the inside of the dome so that the surface stays flat and has a nice gloss to it. Because I am doing this, I have to work backwards in order than I normally would. So I would paint the pupil first, then work my way out from the iris in different colors. I turn my heat gun temperature close to all the way down and use it to speed up the painting process. Once I finished painting the dome, I needed to build a casing for the jewel to sit in. So I quickly threw together this housing using some 10mm EVA and indented a circle using my contact cement can to cut out. After that, I added a rim to it and covered the seam with some 4mm EVA. Then I drove in a sanding bit to make some faux rivets on the surface. The temperature dropped from the mid 70s to the 30s today, so no plasti dipping outside right now. Instead, I put down a few coats of Mod Podge to seal my foam. Works just as good as plasti dip, but may require a few layers to get rid of the brush strokes. Once the Mod Podge dried, I quickly laid down some black apple barrel acrylic and then dry brushed some folk art treasure gold over the top of it. Then to finish it all off, I added some cut jewelry rings to the sides of the dragon eyes so that I could string the chain around it. The chain could then loop around the bones of the crown to secure the jewel to the base.
And we are finished. Here is the end result. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out. The crown's a little bit big. I mean, just a little bit. But dragon bones are big, so you gotta do what you gotta do. I used some color shift paint on the eye just to kind of give it that iridescent, glowing type effect that you get from it. I really like the way that turned out. I was going to use a glass globe from like an old projector that I had, but it was way too heavy, so plastic was the next option to go. But yeah, maybe you'll try and make this yourself and impress your friends with your dragon crown building skills or random Halloween parts that you hoard religiously. Yeah. Maybe you'll get some.
Yay!
And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these. Tell them, much props. Oh, 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 oh.